Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. We did have some technical difficulties. We tried to get a nice headset to use here so it doesn't echo here in the garage, but that's not going to work out. So let me adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, I think that's better. Welcome everybody to Saturday Night Live here at Mike's Garage. Just going to have some fun, talk about things. If you have anything specific you want to talk about, please give me a comment. Let's try to include everybody in that. I'm not sure how I'm going to see the comments here. I think I can do it on my phone. Well, we'll have that here. Be able to pick up your comments there. Okay, I'm getting thumbs up from my technician. Woo! Thank you. Woo! So thank you. Everybody's got to have a technician. Everybody's got to have that guy, that go-to guy. Okay. So welcome to Mike's Garage, everybody.
Yeah, Mike. Woo!
It's Saturday night. Yeah, the audience is going crazy. But thanks for tuning in here. We just want to go over a few things real quick. Having some fun, trying to get this up and working a little better. As we go through this, we'll try to get better equipment, so this will be a little more fun to do. Okay. Right now, if you have a comment, please give me a comment in the comment section. I'm going to have to look at it on the phone. I can't bring it up on the screen here that's in front of me right now, but we'll try to work out the bugs as we go along. So welcome to Mike's Garage. It's Saturday night, a little bit after 9 o'clock. Sorry we didn't make the 9 p.m. kickoff with that. That's a football term. If you usually don't follow football. And we okay? Oh, there you go. All right, now I can see the comments on here, right?
Yeah, you have a message, 2 messages from Chris. I don't know if they're coming through, but Chris said that.
Oh, you can hear me. Good.
So here, and he said, any more Filter Queen repair videos?
Yeah. Well, we're going to put a couple more up. If you want to know specifically about what to do on the Filter Queen videos, and I like doing those. If you want to know more about that or what to do with that, we have a couple really good specials going on over at the shop, so you can chime in with that.
And you can pull it up on your phone. That's probably easiest, is what I was going to say. If you go to here, and then we get this.
Just a second. We're working here.
He's learning.
We're learning. We're learning this as we go along.
Make it your channel. So here, if you keep this open, you can see anyone.
Okay. And all I have to do is swipe up to see it.
Yeah, you gotta get it'll just appear down here. So you see Chris's comments,
yep.
And the rest will appear down there.
Okay, Chrissy. Yeah, we really enjoy making those videos. It's you know what? I've had several people call in and they wanted schematics because they want to do it themselves. We're selling motors. I sold a motor to a guy in San Francisco, somebody in Texas. I've been chatting with somebody in Greece. I didn't send him anything yet. He was asking me some questions about his Filter Queen. He can't find anybody to work on it. For those of you who aren't familiar with Filter Queen, it's a very high-end vacuum and air cleaning system. 99.99% of all the impurities in the air. So, you know, we've been selling them and fixing them for a long time. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be there, but if you need anything, give us a comment and we'll try to get the video up to explain how to do it. I've actually FaceTimed a couple people that they had it apart. They could not figure out how to do it, but I'm not really interested in doing a whole lot of that. But if you have a specific thing you want to learn about or know about, let me know. Like I said, we can email you the schematics. If you want me to mail it to you, it probably costs around $10 to mail it. Most of that's for postage. Okay, so if you want to do that, the 800 numbers on the other videos, give us a call. Or you know, send us an email, give me a comment. Chrissy, appreciate your comments there, and if you need anything, let me know. Okay, want to move on really quick here. Try to get to the other greetings of people that came in last time. Ryan Harris. Ryan, he said about we were talking about pain and muscle things, And DSMO, I think you said it was. It's an ointment, a cream that you put on. I've tried a bunch of different things. I talked a little bit last time about the CBD oils. Now you have to watch with the CBD oils. The ones with Delta 8, or if you use a whole lot of the creams, it will give you a positive readout for marijuana use, okay, because it is part of the hemp plant. So certain products that are made by CBD from CBD oils will give you a positive result on a drug test. What I used was the cream. Sometimes my knuckles hurt and I get a stiff knuckle, or I get my knee has a little kink in it in the morning. Get just a little bit of pea size, maybe size a little bit bigger than that, and rub it into your knee. Doesn't really leave a taste in your mouth like some of that other stuff. But
use this for the chat, and then you can use your phone to look at
okay,
your subscriber comments.
all right, that'll be great. Thanks.
It's your chat, and then pull up your. It's not going to work like that. Don't do that. It'll slide. Yeah.
Okay.
But here, grab your phone and go back to your dashboard, and you'll have everything you need. That way, you have both.
Okay.
Top right.
All right. I appreciate that.
Cool. Sorry to interrupt.
No, anytime. You know, if something goes wrong, you think I need to do something different, please stop in.
Okay, cool.
All right,
You're
thanks.
good. There should be everything you need.
All right, get back in your box over there. Thanks.
We want a raise. We want a raise.
Yeah. You'll get. Everybody wants more money. And you know what, Chris? Another comment from Chris about his parents used to own the Filter Queen, and it's true. They're 30-year machines. So you get them, you keep them, you fix them, and they keep doing a wonderful job. So enough of that commercial. Okay. Let's see what we do. Yeah, this Ryan Harris. It was DMSO was the cream he was using. He says it's very effective. Was using it for what 30 years ago. You said you were using that for pain relief on sore joints and elbows and knuckles and things like that. Like I say, I'm going to be 74 next week. Your knuckles start to get stiff. Your knees start to get a little stiff. Sometimes you need a little help to get those things moving again. So those creams do work. Okay, just got to be careful using those. Last week's comments, like I said, Ryan Harris about using the DMSO, very effective. Private TJ is another veteran, Vietnam veteran that era. He's actually swapped quite a few stories with us over the time, a couple of years that we've been here. Yeah, we've been up over 2 years now doing videos and different things like that. So we're trying to evolve into a little bit of a chat thing once a week. We're not going to try to do like a weekly, a daily show like some of these other guys are doing. They're pretty successful with it too. I don't have the resources that they have, or the crew, or anything like that. So I'm pretty much on my own with my technician, my technical guy there to help me get things going. So we're working on it. TJ, about the price of gasoline. I put up another video today, $3.99 here in Pittsburgh. That's pretty good. Now, it is a little cheaper at some of the gas stations if you use their credit card. They have their own in-house credit card, so it's a little bit cheaper, but it pays off if you can pay the bill each month. You don't carry a balance on the credit card. It's like any other credit card. It makes common sense. If you want to use the credit card so you don't have to carry cash, that's even better. But when the bill comes in, you got to pay the bill, and that's how you save the money. So they're banking on you not paying the bill and carrying the balance over, so they make more money on you. But anyway, so that is something we talked about before. And the one thing I noticed in some of the other videos that I've done is going from town to town, how much the gas prices can change. 15, 20 cents a gallon. If you go from north of the city of Pittsburgh to south, even going from the city of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, going up into Butler County, it dropped 14 cents. Just going from the same kind of a gas station, I think it was a Get-Go, which is part of the Giant Eagle supermarket thing. You go from one of the Get-Go stations to another, and it's 14 cents cheaper across the board. Okay, their credit card prices are cheaper. The unleaded fuel is cheaper. So you have to be a good shopper I know there's Gas Buddy and a couple other apps you can use to try and steer you to the cheapest gas prices around. But like I said, they're all over the map. And if you read the comments that we've been getting, uh, there's quite a difference from state to state how much gas is costing. Now you figure the refineries are all down in Texas. You figure Texas they'd be paying $1.99 a gallon, but you know the transportation costs and everything aren't there. In Pittsburgh, we don't really have a refinery. It's all pumped in or trucked in. I can understand we have to pay more here, but there's like a universal where it's not dollars cheaper. It's it's 50, 60 cents cheaper in some of the places like that. The taxes and the add-ons and all that stuff kill you. I know I have people in California that are paying $6 and $7 a gallon. It's always been if you go into Beverly Hills or something like that in California, it's $1 more, $1.50 more per gallon. There aren't a lot of gas stations there. But if you get stuck and you have to buy gas in Burbank or in Hollywood or something like that, really charge you a lot of money for that. There's a lot of city taxes on that too, along with state, federal, and local taxes. It just jacks the price up tremendously. Sam's Club, I was out there in California and we stopped at Sam's Club. That was still the cheapest place to get gas. The line was around the block. They even have electric charging stations there. They're starting to get a problem where people are lining up to wait their turn to get on the charging stations for their electric cars. Now, what I think we talked about this last time, what's going to happen, there's like 1.4 million electric cars in California. Now, he says in a couple of years, he doesn't want any gasoline cars in the state of California. He wants everybody to have an electric car. Well, what are you going to do? How are you going to charge 11 million cars? You can't even charge 1 million cars right now with the amount of charging stations that you have. And it's put an overload on the grid out there, the electrical grid, that you're going to have to raise the capacity. Nobody wants to build more generating places in. Nobody wants a nuclear reactor. Nobody wants to build another hydroelectric dam, okay? Where are you going to get the electricity from? Wind? I don't think so. So solar? I don't think so. It's just the technology's just not there. So you're trying to rush into something that we can't survive with right now. I guess I don't know how else to put that. If you have a better idea, give me a comment. I'd love to hear from you what your ideas are. I know I was talking to somebody in London. Now, in the city of London, you have to pay a tax. You have to have a permit to drive a gasoline car in the city of London. So if you're going from outside of London, from one of the suburban areas, and you want to go into the city, they actually have parking lots where you park and you either take public transportation, or if public transportation isn't going to get you where you want to go, you have to park in that parking lot and rent an electric car. Now, they have some pretty neat electric cars over there. They're not all Teslas, but they have some really small electric cars. They go about 100 miles on the charge. The latest ones have photo cells built into the paint on the roof, the hood, and the trunk lid. So when you go somewhere and you park, it will partially recharge the batteries, and it gives you a little more battery life, okay? It would take days to recharge the batteries just using sunlight, because it is a very slow trickle charge. But nevertheless, that has to improve, and you'll be able to drive around free. I guess they're not going to let that happen. But you're going to have some kind of a tax, or they're going to raise the fee to use the roads, or something like that, to recover from the fuel tax that they're not going to have anymore. I know they were talking about vehicle registration. So if you register your car and it's a gasoline car, they're going to make money you buying gasoline because they get taxed. But if you register your vehicle and it's an electric vehicle, instead of paying $100 for a gasoline car, you're going to pay $300 or $400 because you have an electric car, because they're going to lose out on all the gasoline tax that you're not going to pay. And haven't figured out a way to charge you extra money for the electric that you're going to use to charge your electric car, but you're still using the roads. As a matter of fact, it's a little harder on the roads. A fellow I talked with the other day, he has a Volkswagen, I think it was a Golf, and it's about 3 years old. It's 2019. Now it has a 150 mile range on the Golf, so it doesn't go really far. It's not a 400 mile range on it. It's not a super fast car. It's fast enough and it's dependable. He does have to charge it every other day. He says, but one of the things that's totally different, well, there's a couple things. It's really quiet. It has a nice amount of pickup, so he's fair with that. Stopping is not a problem. Handling, it's a little heavy going around the turns than if you drive a regular Golf, a gasoline version. He said, but what he found out is a brand new set of tires only lasted him about 20,000 miles. Now, a new gasoline cars might have been averaging anywhere from 38 to 48,000 on a set of tires. If you keep them inflated right and you rotate them, and you're not, going around turns and hot rodding and all that stuff, you can get quite a bit of mileage out of a set of tires. But he says he's driving it nice. This is his daily driver. He drives it back and forth to work. 20,000 miles, the tires were worn out. And he's meticulous. He keeps the right amount of air pressure in there. But the tires are worn out from the weight of the car. He says they did beef up the suspension, so it would ride a little nicer because it's so much heavier with the batteries in there. He says, and you can tell that there's a very low center of gravity the way it goes around corners, and it's stiff. It rides okay, but it's still a stiff suspension because of how heavy the car is. I think he said it's close to 3,000 to 3,500 pounds, and this is a Volkswagen Golf. So it varies from place to place how much that's going to be and how that's going to work for you, whether it's a gasoline vehicle. I know around here I see Teslas with the dual motors. They're really fast cars, and they are pushing them fast. You come down the ramp, and a Tesla's gone. What are they? 3.4 seconds, 0 to 60, something like that. So they're fast cars. They're fun to drive. I don't know what it costs to charge a Tesla. If you put something in your home, what that would cost to charge the car, or do you go to one of the gas stations or charging stations? I know there's a Whole Foods supermarket, and out front, it mixed amongst the handicap spots, the handicap parking spots. There's 2 spots for a electric charger, and it's always out of service. And finally, they said it's out of service. Last time I was up there, last 3 weeks, out of service. It's not working. You got one of the, believe it or not, a plastic bag, which they're doing away with plastic bags here in Pennsylvania. I know they don't have them in New Jersey anymore. But you got to pay a couple extra pennies now if you're going to use a plastic bag. Well, I don't know why they're doing that, but I don't know that's going to help the environment or the trash and all that. They still use plastic trash bags, and that's what we don't just get a bag from the grocery store, plastic bag, and throw it out. We usually put something in it, put it in the trash can, get an extra use out of it. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Banning all the trash. Okay. That's it. Pretty much where we are right now. Something that came up the other day. I was going through. I remember Spotify, which is the music thing. I like to listen to music, rock and roll, and things like that. And all the old artists are on there. Some new artists are on there, and it came upon a band called Black Ledge. Now I do know the young lady. She's relative, Lisa. And she's been in a band, in and out of different bands. They had their own family band. They had a lot of different things. Very talented young lady. She has changed bands trying to find somebody to enhance what she can do. She's very good at lyrics, and she puts together some really good songs. And right now she's teamed up with a guy named Brian. Yeah, and Brian is another songwriter, musician. Now Brian is the lead guitar on the songs, and she's a rhythm guitar, but she writes a lot of the lyrics on it. Now the three songs they have, and they're really good songs. If you get a chance, go to Spotify. The uh, the name of the band is two words, Black Ledge. Okay, that's the name of the band. They have three songs. They have the one that just came out is Long After Dark. Very good song. It's a rock and roll bluesy kind of a song like that. Um, they've been writing songs for a couple of years now. They're due out to bring out an album now in 2022. And right now they're putting the records together in house. They have a little studio where they add the music in the background. They do all those things like a lot of newer artists do. And they're going to put a band together so they can play out at different clubs and different venues and stuff like that. So, Lisa, if you come to Pittsburgh, I expect some backstage passes for me and some friends. Love to see you out here. Good luck with that. Let me finish up with the songs. They are Long After Dark is the one that just came out. There's another one called The Black Cat. Is another rock and roll bluesy kind of a song. It's very good. And the last one is Tabloid, which good lyrics. If you got a chance, go to Spotify. Black Ledge is the name of the band. Check out those songs. Watch for their album. It's going to come out sometime, I hope this year, 2022, maybe early 2023. But it's nice to see somebody who hasn't given up on their dream. She's always wanted to be rock and roll. And, there's nothing like it. She's really talented and just has to put the right people together around her. And she's going to go someplace. So check it out. You heard it here first on Mike's Garage Live. So good luck to you, Lisa. Wish you the best. Okay? Okay. Move on to the latest thing, the big news now. Well, besides the tennis tournament, the tennis has been going on all week, and I'm having trouble getting football games on the TV because of the tennis that's going on. But I'm able to watch them. So I'm sorry, Pitt lost today. Penn State blew them out. Some good Pennsylvania teams. I think they lost in overtime. Pitt did. So, and Mike Tomlin is not a fan of overtime. He says there's got to be a way to end the game with the winner. He doesn't want to end in ties, and he doesn't want the game to be decided on the flip of a coin. About the first person that gets the ball usually winds up winning the game because they could, move the ball down and kick a field goal, and they can win. So he doesn't like that sudden death thing. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Okay, if you're going to put it up for 3 minutes, play for 3 minutes, play for 5 minutes, and I don't know what you do. Like hockey, you do a shootout, put the field goal kickers out there, kick from 20, 30, 40, 50. First one that misses, the other team wins. Something like that they're going to have to do. I don't know. But keep it interesting. It's really good. I love football because that's once a week. You get a chance to talk about it all week long. It's not like baseball. They play 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 games a week. You get to talk about the game coming up. It's on all the shows about who they're going to play, who's going to start, who's injured, who's not injured. You got the fantasy football going on. Now you have all that off-track betting or sports betting where you're allowed to bet on the games. You're allowed to bet on anything. Who's going to kick the first field goal, how many yards is this guy going to get? You can bet on a lot of different things. So it makes it fun. And usually we get together and, you get not a party, but yeah, like a party. You all get together and you watch the game at somebody's house and just enjoy the company of being there and cheer your team on. Okay, so we are rooting for the Steelers. Got my shirt on. Ready for them for tomorrow. I think they play at 1:30, something like that. So they're out of town. But that'd be fun. Looking forward to watching the Steelers back in action. Okay? There actually is, I'm trying to read the comments here, and sorry for keep turning away. Okay, two comments he gave me. Now, the CBD oils there's a couple of videos on Mike's Garage about the CBD oils. There's a phone number where you can call and get all that information about the CBD oils and the store that we're involved in there. Very nice young ladies that run the store, very knowledgeable. I don't know if you've been to a CBD store. Some people don't know anything about it. You buy it at the grocery store, you buy it at 7-Eleven, CBD oil. If you really want to know what's going on and how CBD oils help you without the high, okay, you have to call a store and you have to talk to somebody who's been trained. Now, I work with a young lady named Suzanne. You call the phone number that's on my videos about the CBD oil. Suzanne is there, or Dee is there. Two very nice young ladies, very knowledgeable. They can answer all your questions about the CBD oil, whether you want to take a pill, a candy, a mint, a dropper, any different way you want to take it, okay? And you can vape it. It's a lot of different ways. It's pretty interesting. And it's legal, and you don't need a prescription. You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need a form or anything you have to fill out. You can just go in and buy it, and it's pretty good stuff. So give Suzanne a call. Tell her you heard about it on Mike's Garage, and she'll be able to set you up. Maybe even get you a little discount. Okay, so mention Mike's Garage. See if you can get a discount on that. We're located about 12 miles north of the city of Pittsburgh, a little town called Shaler, if you know where that is. So call the store, get the address, stop by, tell them you heard it on Mike's Garage. Go from there. Okay, sorry about that. That's the Ring doorbell. Somebody's moving around out front. It's probably the deer eating my shrubs again. They're a mess. Every time I put something out there that's green, they eat it right down to the nubs. There's a lot of them. I don't know. I guess hunting season doesn't take care of it like they should, but it's all residential neighborhood. They're all walking between the houses. I know in the last 5 years I've hit 3 deer, and actually had one hit me. I was going down the road and it ran into the side of the car. There was a whole bunch of them crossing the street. I didn't see them. They didn't see me, and bang, into the side of the car. Dented the door a little bit, but had deer hair all over the side of the car. And he ran away. I don't know if he was hurt, but he just slammed into the car. He was going fast, probably going full speed. But yeah, I hit 3 deer, and one of them hit me in the last 5 years. So usually around Thanksgiving that I have that problem. And so every year around this time, I really just sharpen my senses, and I'm watching for anything that moves, any kind of unusual movement. I'm ready to stop, or I don't want to swerve. I don't want to hit a tree to try and save a deer. So I'm not going to do that. But I just a little more aware of what's going on when we do that. Okay. The other thing that happened here this week was the Queen. There you go. I don't remember anybody before Queen Elizabeth. She was, 1952? So I was born in 48, so I was like 4 years old, so I never knew anybody different than that. 96, God bless her, good for her. I hope I make it close to 96. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But she's done so many different things for England, the colonies, all the little colonies and things that the Brits were trying to control. She gave all them up to self-rule. We grow out of that, okay? The unfortunate is when you relinquish control of places like Hong Kong, other forces take it over. And they really tried to change Hong Kong. They are changing Hong Kong right now to something that doesn't resemble what it did under British rule. So I wish those people well. Can't get ugly sometimes, but she was somebody who saw that it was time to not have colonies anymore and be more compassionate with people like that. And so my hat's off to her. I wish her the best. I wish King Charles the best. Now he doesn't. He automatically gets the title I don't know if there's, I'm sure there's some kind of a ceremony they have to go through, and they'll probably do that very quickly. Uh, what that means, I know his wife Carmela is not known as the queen; she's known as the uh, wife of the king. And the next in line then is William. He is the next in line, and when Charles steps aside, or when he's no longer able to fulfill the duties there, then William is the next guy, and Kate. So that's we have to see. I hope I'm around to see something like that happen. Charles is my age; he's in his 70s, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. He seems like he's got things under control. I'm sure he's got a lot of people around him trying to keep everything straight about what he's doing, and we'll go from there to see what happens with him. So good luck to you, King Charles. My sympathies to you on the loss of your mom, and Britain still has to stand out and be a good friend to the United States. So I hope that continues. Okay. Now, one of the things we've been getting involved in here is the fall. Once school started again, we're getting back into the sports. Now, I love sports. I think sports for the grown men, women, for children is very important. Okay, I still like to go out and hit a golf ball around. I love the competition. I love the exercise. There's a couple virtual reality places you can go to. You can go to Top Golf, and they're all good. You go there, you have a sandwich, you hit some golf balls, you have some fun, you have a little competition. Who can hit the targets? Who can't? So you do that, or you can go out and play 9 holes or on one of these little short par threes. I did that the other time with my grandson and my son. What a good time that was. We had a lot of fun, had a lot of laughs, and we still talk about it today. Remember that shot you made? And he actually had a par. First time out playing, I think he's 8 years old. First time out playing a par 3. He had a 9-iron and a putter. And that's pretty much what all of us used. Okay, so you lay it up with a 9-iron, try to get it on the green, first shot, second shot, and then you got a 1 putt. So I got it on the green a couple times in 1 and I 2 putted. So I didn't, there's no 4, 5s or 6s. You get a par or a bogey. So we had fun with that. That's a lot of fun, and it's good. It's good intermixing with the kids too to do that. But I think having sports involved with your kids, boys and girls, okay, no matter who you are, if you play sports, you got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to lose. You got to know that if you try harder, or you prepare yourself, or you practice to get better, you can win. Okay, that's the whole thing. That's what you have to know. That it's not, oh my God, I can never beat him or anything like that. You have to know that you can try, you can practice, you can learn, you can educate yourself on almost anything, whether it's sports. But see, the sports tells you, if you're in a marketing job, yeah, it's the same thing. You're working as a team, you're on your own, you got to get educated, you got to work hard, you got to go after the goal, you got to be the winner. So I think team sports at that level teaches them that. You want them to learn how to play on a team, so they get along with coworkers, how to be a leader in some situations like that. Some people are just natural born leaders. They want to be in charge. People who don't have the ability to be in charge are good support people. And it just works out really well if you get them involved young with sports, but you have to win or lose. You have to know that if you try harder, you can get better and you can be the winner next time. So that's enough on the sports thing. But we're doing soccer. A couple of the kids are on soccer teams. We're doing baseball, fall baseball, softball for the girls, baseball for the boys, and we're having a lot of fun with that. Matter of fact, I got my one grandson is pitching, does very well with that. And then he was catches another kid who can bring the heat. He can really throw hard. But he stays in there in that catcher's equipment. He catches the ball, doesn't duck, doesn't closed his eyes. I told him, I says, the only way you're not going to get hit with the ball is if you catch it. So keep your eyes open and catch the ball. Then it can't hit you in the head or bounce off your pads or hit you in the shoulder and hurt you. So just keep your eye on the ball and catch the ball, and then there's no problem. So that's what he's been doing, and that's Grandpa's advice. So I hope his dad is listening. But anyway, so that's you learn about what to do to survive in certain situations like that. So my hat's off to him. My granddaughter's playing softball. She did really well with that. She actually was pitching tonight. So getting the ball over the plate. It's slow pitch with the arc and everything. So she has a little knack for that. So she was putting the ball over the plate. Kids were hitting. They were getting them out on base. So it was a lot of fun. And the one thing I liked, at the end of the girls' game, they run a relay. And the one team gets on second base. The whole team and the coach is on second base. And the other team is at home plate with the coach. And what they do is they run the bases. So the person, the first person at second base has the softball. And there's the girl that's at home plate on the other team also has a softball. Now it's like a relay race. So you have to run the bases, and when you get back to second base, you hand the ball to the next girl, and she has to run the bases. And home plate is doing the same thing. Home plate runs around the bases back to home plate, gives the ball to the next girl, and she has to run the bases. And the first team that does all of the bases, everybody takes one turn running the bases, wins. And I tell you what, it was only about 2 steps that they won tonight. Both teams had very fast girls on there. They ran like crazy to do that. One girl, the only reason the other team lost is the girl dropped the ball. And she had to stop and go back 2 steps to get it and then take off again. And that's the 2 steps that the team lost because she dropped the ball and she had to go back and get it. Not that we're going to put all the blame on her, okay? It could have been the handoff. It could have been a lot of different things. But that was the most fun part. Everybody just ran like crazy, ran their hearts out to try and win that. And I think that's important to learn those kind of disappointments and just the victories when that comes along. So I think that's very important to do that. Change subject, Tony. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping around here. I have quite a few things I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to keep looking at the comments here. If you have a comment, something you want to do that, send it in. I got it right here. I'm watching myself on the iPad and checking the comments as we go. Chris E., thank you for chiming in there. He's got 5 or 6 comments on there. I appreciate that. And trying to get as many viewers on here as we can. So we'll see if this continues. If so, we'll just do it every Saturday night. Get some topics going on and see what we can talk about. Okay. The other thing is, I had talked to a couple guys and I did a couple videos on Agent Orange. Now we'll talk about Vietnam. Okay. So I was in Long Bend, 1970, and at least once a month, the helicopter would come over with the spray arms out, and they would spray everything. So on Long Bend, there wasn't any plant life. Everything was pretty much dead. They had a couple places where they would burn the trash and they would burn the poop and everything out of the latrines. They would drag it down there, put diesel fuel in it and burn it. So they had a burn pit a little ways away. I can't really say that we were ever subjected to all that smoke because they did take it pretty far away. And but they used to come over and spray. And the first time I saw it, they don't warn you about it either. All of a sudden you're there. I'm there 2 weeks in headquarters company. We're going here, we're going there. And here comes the helicopter. And everybody says, come on, go inside. You get under cover, you get under some kind of shelter. A helicopter comes over and this mist goes over everything. And he says, we got to stay in here for a couple of minutes until it dries. I said, what do you mean? He says, oh, that's Agent Orange. It kills all the foliage. Because I really didn't notice, but everything was gravel or dirt road or something like that. Some places had asphalt on Long Bend, and there was a couple spots where they didn't spray, where there wasn't any buildings there. But for the most part, everything was covered in this slimy oil. Okay, now for me, I have 11 spots of what they call basal cell carcinoma, which is skin cancer. Okay, I got them on the side of my face, I got them on my shoulders, I got them on my legs. I got them on my legs between my knee and my hip, which that never sees the sun. You know, I mean, I don't wear a bikini bathing suit or anything like that. I always wear some long bathing suit down to my knees. Always have. So, how did I get skin cancer from the sun if the cancer is between my knee and my hip? Well, I'm going to apply for benefits again to see if I can get something for this because it's ridiculous. I don't feel that I overexposed myself to the sun. This is something that's coming out later in life because of the exposure to the Agent Orange. I don't know if anybody else is having that kind of a problem with that. I know there's a list of things. Let me get that paper. There's a list of things, and I tell you, if you have any interest at all, here we go. You go to reddit.com on your web browser. You go reddit.com. I think it's REDITT.com. Okay? And then when you get on Reddit, you type in veterans benefits. And when that comes up, then you look for the knowledge base. So it's knowledge base. And once you get to the knowledge base, over on the right-hand side, there's a box. Down in the box is a thing called the master list. I can't even remember what I'm writing now. The master, the list of things they will cover. Okay, and they just started covering hypertension and high blood pressure. And if you are suffering from hypertension and I think even tinnitus, and you feel that it's due to your exposure to anything that was while you were in the service, doesn't have to be Vietnam. I mean, look, they're just coming out and admitting what they did down at Camp Lejeune. Okay, those guys were drinking poisoned water. I don't know if they knew it or not. That's I said water. That's my Philadelphia accent. But I should say water because my grandson corrects me. Sorry, Henry. So they were drinking contaminated water with chemicals that later in life are causing problems for them. You got bladder cancer, you got liver cancer, you got respiratory disease because of the different things you ingested drinking that water. So veterans, you got to go get what you deserve. Don't feel bad about going there to get the benefits that you deserve. They're there. There's a whole list of them. If you go to that website, I told you, it's reddit.com, veterans benefits, knowledge base, master list. There's a master something list. I can't read my writing here. I apologize for that. But the master list will tell you all of the things that they consider being caused by being exposed to Agent Orange or other problems that came up like that, and how you can get some benefits for it. Now, you can get a 10% benefit, at 20%, 100%. You might be able to get yourself another $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 a month if you actually do have. You have to apply. You have to provide records. You have to provide your discharge papers on the application. You have to know your double D 214, which is your discharge papers. The guy is telling me, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the AMVETS. It's up here in Warrendale. I'm going to go to the AMVETS, and I hear there's a guy there by the name of Mike that can help you get on the right track with how to get any kind of help with that, or at least get the application in to see if they'll do anything for you. So I am going to try to do that again, see if we can do something with that. And again, the veterans that are out there, I know there's a lot of support people involved with the Ukraine war. They're not in Ukraine, they're in Poland, they're in all the surrounding countries. They're training the Ukrainian soldiers on the new equipment they're sending over. And some of the new equipment is really driving Russia crazy. Now, Russia just said today they don't want the United States to provide the new missile systems. And the missile systems are just devastating because it's not like artillery where you fire it off and you have a spotter and you shot it too far, back it down a little bit to the left until you get on the right target, okay? The missiles, you put a GPS signal on that, you put the GPS address on the missile and shoot it, and it lands on that spot, okay? So if you have a drone and the drone identifies the GPS location of the ammo dump, it identifies the barracks that the Russian soldiers are sleeping in. It identifies the staging yard where they're staging the tanks, getting ready to deploy them, and you send back all those GPS, and you can bring in those mobile rocket systems and put each rocket on its own GPS target, fire everything, and then drive out of there real quick, and hopefully you won't get caught. Okay, that's why artillery is so deadly, because you start firing and you're not mobile. You have to stay there. It takes you an hour, it takes you 40 minutes to fire off, dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen rounds. You got to bring in a lot of material. You got to bring in the charges. You got to bring in the shells. You got to bring in the projectiles. You got to bring the artillery in. You got to set it up. It's got to be level. It's got to be adjustable, and you got to create a link with the GPS, with the spotter, really, to tell you how far you are off from the target. So it's just much easier to use the rockets. Now, Russia is threatening to escalate the civilian targets if the United States continues to give the rocket weapon systems to Ukraine. So, like I said before in the other videos, I don't want us to get sucked into this. It's really a dangerous situation. We keep giving them better and better weapons. It's really frustrating Russia. I don't know if the reports are true that Russia's trying to buy ammo for their equipment, because they've taken quite a few hits on their ammo dumps and the supply lines and things like that. So I know the latest report that I read, they're trying to buy shells for their artillery from North Korea. Well, I don't know if that's true, but if they are, they're running out of shells. So it's really going to be interesting. And Putin, I think he's not going to lose, doesn't want to lose. If he loses, everybody loses, because he's the kind of guy that will damage and destroy the nuclear reactors. So if he can't have Ukraine, nobody else does, okay? He's going to ruin the country. He's already ruining the country. He's ruining the infrastructure. He's ruining their oil business. He's ruining their that's what it's all about. It's about oil and food. Ukraine produces a lot of grain for Europe, and Ukraine produces a lot of the energy. They have all the nuclear reactors there, and they produce the oil, and that's what Russia wants. They want control. If they get that, they're going to be wealthy, and they get a lot more power with wealth. Because whoever controls the oil controls the world. That's pretty much what they always say. Okay? All right. Sorry I went on and on. Listen, give me some comments. If you didn't get a chance to watch tonight, watch during the week. Let me know what you want to talk about next week. I'll try to bring up some current events on that. Chris E., I appreciate your comments. Those of you who are out there, and there's a couple more people out there watching live, so I do appreciate you being here with me. So peace out, everybody. Do something nice for a stranger. Be a subscriber. I always could use more subscribers. I think, let me check. I think we're up to 721 subscribers. Yep, 721 subscribers. You know the goal is 1,000. So we've been at this a couple of years now. So we have a little further to go to get to 1,000. That'll help us have a revenue stream here to try and get some better equipment, better studio, better help. I hope you didn't hear me. But no, my technician is really a good guy. He's very helpful, keeps things running. His name's Joe. So thanks everybody for watching Mike's Garage. Don't forget to go to Spotify and check out the albums for Black Ledge. And we'll see you next week, next Saturday, 9 o'clock. Thanks everybody. Now I just got to figure out how to stop this. I think I know how to do it. See you now.